Selenium WebDriver, powerful tool in this Selenium suite. Selenium IDE, prototype tool. It is not suitable for complex test design. Next, Selenium RC outdated, removed from the latest versions of Selenium. Next, Selenium Grid only for test execution, not for test design. Next, in only one powerful tool in Selenium suite of tools, Selenium WebDriver. Selenium WebDriver. Tomorrow onwards we will discuss Selenium. Before that, what are the topics to be discussed in Selenium WebDriver? Topics to be discussed in Selenium WebDriver. So, Padak, you are my old student. You already attended the Selenium WebDriver classes. Now tell me the sequence of Selenium WebDriver concepts for learning.
Yes, sir. Sir, test type supported by Selenium?
Yes, first, it is theory. It is theory concept. First, focus on test types supported by Selenium. Observe Sai Pranati. Test type supported by Selenium. Our Selenium is functional test tool now.
Yes, sir.
Our Selenium is functional test tool. Suppose JMeter is there. Performance test tool. Load runner. Performance test tool. UFT. Functional test tool. RFT. Functional test tool. Selenium. Functional test tool. Functional testing is test type. Next, functional testing can be done in all 4 levels of testing. We have 4 levels of testing: unit testing, integration testing, system testing, and acceptance testing. As independent testers, we conduct testing on integrated system. Means our test level is system testing. Our test level is system testing. In some companies, you may involve in the acceptance testing also for providing assistance to customers. Our Selenium supports functional testing in system testing level and acceptance test level. Getting the point, Muhammad Kaleem?
Yes, sir.
Our test type is functional testing. Functional testing, not performance testing. For performance testing, JMeter like tools are available. Next, functional, in general, functional testing can be done in all test levels. All test levels. What are the all test levels? One is unit testing. Unit testing. Generally, developers conduct unit testing. Testers may vary from one level to another, but purpose is same. Purpose is testing. We have 4 levels of testing. Second one is integration testing. Next, third one is system testing. System, just a minute. System testing. Generally, Sonopathak, we independent testers. We are independent testers. Developers also conduct some sorts of testing. Customers also are customer represented. End users. End users may conduct acceptance testing. Developers may conduct unit testing. But developers not independent testers. Basically, they are developers. Their secondary activity is testing. But we are independent testers. Our primary activity is testing only. Okay. Our level is system testing. Next,
Sir, who does integration testing?
integration testing that depends on company, complexity of application. In some companies, independent testers also involving in integration testing. Integration testing. Sonapata.
Okay, sir.
Say,
And developers can also do?
yes, developers also may involve in that integration testing. Here in this integration test level, no restrictions. No restrictions. If any technical aspects are there, that time developers may involve. But nowadays, for most of the applications, independent testers also involving in integration testing. Getting?
Yes, okay, sir.
Acceptance testing. Actually, it is the responsibility of end users. It is the responsibility of end users. But nowadays, independent testers also providing some assistance to conduct acceptance testing for end users. Suppose if you integrate Selenium with Cucumber like tool, Cucumber acceptance test tool, then end users easily execute the Selenium test cases. Non-technical users also easily execute the Selenium test cases using Cucumber like tool. See, we have 4 levels of testing. Sai Pranati, Selenium supports functional and system testing, means functional testing in system test level. Next, Selenium supports functional testing in acceptance test level. But Selenium doesn't support functional testing in unit testing and functional testing in integration testing. Getting it? Observe Muhammad Karim. This point carefully.
Yes, sir.
This point
Yes.
carefully. Our Selenium supports functional testing. Functional testing, okay. Where? Functional testing can be done in all levels of testing. Where? In system test level and the acceptance test level only, we can conduct functional testing using Selenium. But in integration testing, we can't conduct functional integration testing, functional unit testing using Selenium. Getting? Functional testing in
System level testing.
System test level and acceptance test level. Acceptance test level. This is the conclusion level. Next, as per Selenium official documentation, Selenium supports not complete some sorts of performance testing. Suppose performance testing non-functional, performance testing is having 4 subsets, 4 or 5 subsets. Example, load testing, stress testing, spike testing, endurance testing, and data value testing. What is the difference between load testing and performance testing? Silently. What is the difference between some are saying performance test tools, some are saying load test tools. What is the difference or relation between performance testing and load testing? Komalaka. Sonapata.
Sir, load testing is process of determination.
I am
Like
not asking about load testing definition. What is the relation between performance testing and load testing? I am not asking the process of load testing or definition of load testing. Sonapata.
So load testing is used for getting the behavior.
I'm not asking the process or definition. What is the relation between performance testing and load testing? Are they same or different? Are they related?
So they are related.
Related.
So different.
Not different. Related.
Related.
Which one is superior? Load testing or performance testing?
Performance?
Yes. Performance testing is superior. Say, what is the relation between performance testing and load testing? Load testing is a subset of performance testing. As part of performance testing, we conduct load testing, that's it. Getting me? Say subsets of performance testing. First one, important one, load testing. Next, spike testing, stress testing, endurance testing, data value testing. Our Selenium may support load testing and stress testing according to Selenium official documentation. But they mentioned one concept. Don't try to use Selenium for performance testing. It was not designed for performance testing. It was designed for functional testing. For performance testing, you use JMeter like tools. But our Selenium supports some sorts of performance testing, but it is not recommended. Okay. Continue, Sonu.
Sir, sorry. Sir, is performance testing related to regression testing?
You are asking this question. Not really. Say, what is regression testing? What is regression
We add
testing?
the new features and
What is regression testing? It is
Sir,
change related
yeah.
testing. Regression testing means change related testing.
Change related.
Change
Yes, sir.
related testing. It is not separate test type. As part of functional testing, you may conduct regression testing, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Performance testing also you may conduct change related testing, regression testing, isn't it?
Yes. So then Selenium is direct, like we use Selenium then in performance testing then.
Selenium is not recommended for performance testing. See, you don't confuse. First, functional testing. Functional testing. As part of functional testing, can't we conduct regression testing? After
Yes, sir.
modifying the code.
Yes, sir.
After
We can.
modifying the code, we have to conduct regression testing. Suppose you are conducting performance testing using JMeter or load runner like tools. As part of performance testing, can't we conduct regression testing?
Yes.
Suppose earlier performance is not failed. It is not working for 500 users or 1000 users. After that, they modified the code and they modified the resources. After that, you need to conduct regression.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir. Yeah. So
Regression. See here in functional testing, what is your regression? Same functional test case only you execute in your regression testing. Getting the point?
yes, sir. With advanced, yeah.
Say modified build. Last time failed cases, last time failed functional test cases, and impacted false test cases. You select for regression testing.
Yes,
Next,
sir.
in performance testing, you execute last time failed performance test cases, any impacted false test cases for regression testing. Getting me?
Yes, sir.
In first scenario, regression testing means you re-execute your functional test cases only. In performance regression testing, you re-execute your performance test case only. So,
Yes, sir.
regression testing is different now.
Yes, sir. It's kind of performance testing.
Depends on the scenario. Depends on the scenario. Suppose you are conducting usability testing. You are conducting usability testing. Suppose manually. Suppose you write some defects. Your user friendliness point of view, you write some defects. Next, developers modify the code. After receiving modified build, you need to re-execute the cases now. That is
Regression testing, yes,
that
sir.
is called regression only now.
Yes, sir.
But all regression is not same now. Functional regression, performance regression, usability regression. That's why our tools called as functional and
regression
test tools. Regression test tools. Isn't it?
Okay, sir. Perfect.
Okay. Next, continue.
Thanks.
Continue. Sonopata.
Selenium installation.
After focusing on test types supported by Selenium, means purpose of Selenium, usage of Selenium in our software testing. Next, focus on Selenium installation. Selenium installation. Or you can say Selenium test environment setup. Selenium test environment setup. Observe side Pranati. When compared to other tools like other commercial, when compared to commercial test tools like UFT, RFT, etc., Selenium installation or Selenium test environment setup is difficult. Getting the point?
Yes, sir.
As a fresher or 1+ years experience or 2 years experience, if you face this question, say Selenium test environment setup is difficult than commercial tool setup like UFT and RFT. Why? Why, Komalata?
Object repository.
Just a minute. Not object.
Sir, there is no help, sir. You have to set up by yourself, and if you
There is no help. What about UFT? For UFT, any help is there?
I mean, at least there is guidance, and if you want, people can ask.
That is
helplines.
technical support. Tech support is different. Installation is different. Okay, for installations also they may support, but not required.
Add-ins, it's not directly add-ins, and nothing will be available, sir. You have to install the add-ins.
Your answer is not sinking. Observe. UFT, RFT, they are commercial tools.
Commercial tools, sir.
Packed software means they are all inclusive test tools. Getting this point? All inclusive test tools. Suppose if you download UFT, just using the setup file, install quickly. No problem. You can install quickly. Why? It is all inclusive software. You no need to install VB script separately. You no need to install SQL separately. You no need to install spreadsheet separately, etc. If you install UFT tool, it has user interface दोनों पाता है. It has user interface. It has editor, built-in editor to write and execute test cases. You no need to UFT uses VB script for programming. but you don't need to install VBScript. VBScript engine built in with EFT tool. Next, MS Access engine built in with EFT tool for writing and executing SQL commands in your test scripts. Next, not Excel, Excel like spreadsheet built in with UFT. So UFT, RFT, they are commercial tools, all inclusive test tools. If you install UFT or RFT, you can work with those tools directly. No need to install any other software. But our Selenium is not all inclusive test tool. Getting this point, Komlata?
Yes, sir. Clear, sir. It's not all inclusive.
Our Selenium is not an all inclusive test tool like UFT and RFT. We need to configure manually for writing and executing test scripts. Eclipse IDE like editor required, you need to download. Next, for programming Java, you need to download and install Java, set environment variable path. Suppose if you want unit test framework like TextArea as test runner, you need to download TextArea plugin for Selenium, TextArea plugin for Eclipse IDE. Like that, we need to configure different software components in order to increase the scope of Selenium testing. That's why Selenium installation is difficult than commercial test tools like UFT and RFT installation. Any query? Sai Pranali.
No, sir.
Okay, next, concentrate on browser drivers. Concentrate on browser drivers. Why browser drivers? I have already told our Selenium supports various browsers to write and execute test cases. For writing, you can use element locators. Element locators are common for every browser. So for executing Selenium test cases, browser drivers are important. Muhammad Khalil. Observe Muhammad Khalil.
Yes, sir.
Suppose you created 100 or 500 test cases for your project. If you want to execute all your 100 test cases using Chrome browser, you need to instantiate Chrome browser driver in your test cases. Suppose if you want to execute these test cases using Mozilla Firefox, you need to instantiate Mozilla Firefox driver called Gecko driver. The name of Mozilla Firefox driver is Gecko driver. Very simple process I will explain in Selenium test cases chapters. Next, if you want to execute your test cases against Edge browser, you need to instantiate Edge browser driver in your test cases. Test cases are common for all browsers. Browser driver only varies from one browser environment to another. Next important one, inspecting elements. How to inspect elements, Sona Pathak, you know the concept now? How to inspect elements in
By browser developer tools.
yes, by browser features. What is that feature? built-in developer tools. Built-in developer tools. You can use any browser, Chrome or Mozilla Firefox or Edge. Element locators are same for any browser environment. Next, locating elements. Locating elements. How Selenium locates elements? Not Siphon. Komalata. How Selenium locates elements?
Element locators, sir.
Yes. Using element locators. Element locators. See, this element locators belongs to HTML side, Pranati. Element locators not belongs to Java programming, not belongs to Selenium. HTML. That's why some HTML fundamentals, HTML basics are important for Selenium testers. Locating elements. Using element locators. HTML element locators. HTML. Next, performing actions on elements. For this, using Selenium WebDriver. Methods. Next, page object model. Page object model design pattern. It is for creating object repositories. Next, result reporting. Result reporting. Selenium WebDriver is an API. Sai Pranati. API stands for Application Programming Interface. It doesn't have user interface. Suppose Notepad having user interface. That's why we are typing, we are reading, we are writing. MS Office is having user interface. EFT is having user interface. Selenium WebDriver doesn't have any user interface. And one more thing, Selenium WebDriver doesn't have built-in result report facility. Suppose EFT is having built-in result report facility. EFT can provide test results for every test iteration in a separate window called result window. But Selenium WebDriver doesn't have built-in result report facility. For that, we need to integrate with unit test framework. For example, TextArea. See, testing framework. Integration with Selenium. Observe Komalata, how can we perform result reporting? By testing framework integration with Selenium. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Excellent. Just observe side Pranati. Here I used a concept. Here these two concepts are important for our Selenium testing. For functional testing, locating elements, performing actions on elements. These two concepts are important. Say you take Selenium test steps. Suppose login functionality. Large browser. In this step, no element involvement. Next, enter so and so URL in browser address bar. Here, no element involvement in this step. Next, start tab. Enter username into username edit box. Here, element involvement is there. Here, element is username edit box. The action is entering a value into the edit box. Next step. Enter password into password edit box. Here, element is password edit box. The action on that element is entering password. Next, click sign in button. Here, sign in button is element. Click is action on the element. So, in functional testing, if it is manual testing or automated testing, locating elements, performing actions on the elements, important. Any confusion, Muhammad Khalil? Suppose,
No, sir.
observe one small concept. If it is manual testing or automated testing, locating elements or objects and performing action on the objects are the important concepts. Suppose as part of my test case navigation, I need to click on Gmail link in Google homepage. If it is manual testing, I will open this web page. Next, with my eyes, I will search for Gmail link. Oh, Gmail link available, right side top. Then I will click this link with my mouse. Okay. Suppose images link. Element. Click is action on the element. If it is Selenium, we need to instruct Selenium to recognize the Gmail, then make Selenium to perform action on the element. Click. So, important tasks in functional testing are inspecting or locating or recognizing elements or objects. Next, performing, these two. Inspecting is part of locating elements. See, two important tasks: locating or recognizing or identifying elements in web pages. Next, performing actions on the elements. These two are the important. Okay, we will meet tomorrow. Before that, confirm one by one. First, Farhan Khalid, any queries regarding this today's class? Tomorrow we will start
No, sir.
Selenium
Thank
module.
Yes, sir.
Komalata,
Clear, sir. Thank you, sir.
welcome. Next, Sonam Patel,
I'm good, sir. Thank you.
welcome. Sai Prati.
No worries, sir. No
Okay.
worries, sir. Thank you.
Okay, cool. Welcome. We will meet tomorrow, same time. Thank you.